that causes them to have loved ones or relatives deported. I'm now going to talk to Avion, who's one of those people. Your fears right now about friends or relatives?
Yes, I am.
Tell us what you're worried about.
I'm worried that our racist president is going to deport my family back to their homelands. It's not right. We have the right to be here. No one should ever be back to deported or where they come from. Donald Trump needs to leave the White House. He needs to be impeached.
And can you tell us, I know you're probably fearful of being very specific, but which relatives are you talking about? Who are you worried about? And are you a citizen?
I am a citizen of the U.S., but my family is not. My family lives in Alabama, but they might be deported either back to Japan or back to Guam. So I'm a little worried about them right now.
All right, Don, that's just one of the sentiments here. And then also what we've been hearing throughout the night is people who are telling us that they feel California is its own nation state, very different from the rest of the country. And if you look at this sign right here, it echoes what you saw at Brexit. It says, Cal exit, because we have different values, but we share love for freedom. And you heard someone yell secession now. You're Cat. What is going through your mind right now? And how serious are you taking this notion?
All right, what's going through my mind right now is just like a lot of emotion. I think today was a very emotional day for everybody in California. Emotions are running high. I heard this word thrown around quite a bit. And I think part of the thing is, we want it to be peaceful. We understand some people feel this way, other people feel this way. There's not necessarily a right or wrong, but we can coexist, but we need to maybe it's like an amicable breakup.
We need to stop being codependent and start being independent.
For sure.
We have been codependently supporting the rest of the country for too long. It's like having some broke-ass friend for dinner who just gives you shit about your lifestyle choices.
The thing is, our values. It's our core value system. I'm from the Midwest, and I moved here because I wanted to be around open-minded people. I wanted to be around this diversity, and this diversity is what I love about living in LA. And when somebody attacks the diversity of my community, I take that as a personal attack, and that's not okay.
And as a California native, I grew up in the 70s, and I grew up around this idea that we could take care of the earth. And if the Californian environmental values aren't spread out to the rest of the country, the whole planet is screwed.
It's about It's about respect. It's a global issue.
Global issue.
Respecting our neighbors.
Let's listen. You were saying this is a global issue.
It isn't a global issue because we need to take initiative in order to take care of everybody. It starts with humans. We have to take care of the planet. We have to take care of water. We have to take care of children. We have to take care of the future. Without these implementations in our system, we're extremely doomed. And that is negative for the effect of our society and the children. I do this because I care for the future. I am concerned about what would happen in 20 years from now. Already there's indications in China and in India that pollution is killing people, children and elderly especially. And I'm extremely passionate of what I do, and I will never stop.
We really appreciate your guys' comments. I'm going to send it back to you now, Don.
At one point, there are signs like this one that you can see here. Please tell me what your sign says, first of all.
My sign says, I can't believe I still have to protest for civil rights.
What brought you guys out here to protest against Donald Trump?
I think a lot of us are just in utter shock and disbelief. Obviously, the forecast did not predict this outcome, and a lot of us don't really know what else to do. So we're just here doing what we can do.
Do me a favor, describe the crowd in terms of the mixture and how people have been so far.
Well, I mean, obviously, we see a lot of people of color and people of different backgrounds, which is very, very nice to see. Coming from Nebraska, I don't see that very often. And everybody has been very peaceful so far, so it's been very nice out here.
Gotcha. You guys are obviously, you told me you're college students. What has it been like watching this over the last 24 hours or so, how it just unraveled?
It's been really frustrating because as a nation we thought we have come so far, but it seems like we're taking many steps back, so we want to come all together to change that and make sure we keep going forward.
Someone might say, hey, the vote's over, he's president, so why not move on? What would you guys say to that?
It's never over. It's never over. We can still fight. Our ancestors fought for so long. They fought so hard. It is not our time to give up right now. It is not.
Perfect. Thank you. Don, one of the things I want to show you, thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies. One of the things I want to show you, see that bus up there? That's where a lot of protesters decided to jump on top of the bus and start showing their displeasure with what's going on. And you see, we're right outside the
7th Street. I want to bring in one of those protesters right now. Her name is Katie. Katie, we were talking a little bit earlier about why you decided to join these people out here tonight.
I I'm joining because I was a Hillary supporter at Canvas yesterday, but mostly because I think that the way he ran and what happened with Comey and other things like that, I just don't think he's an appropriate. I just don't think he's an appropriate leader for our country. He doesn't represent us, and he scares me. As a woman, frankly, he scares me.
But clearly he does represent a significant number of people in this country.
I think he represents a point of view of a significant number of people, because as like a businessman.
And what do you think that point of view is?
Unfortunately, I think it's racist. I think it's a bit uneducated, but not by the fault of those people. But I think that he wants sort of like an archaic state of mind, because like that has to do with ideals that aren't really our own. That's of one group that's not really the greater America any longer.
He did say yesterday that what he wants to do now is represent people of all backgrounds, all ethnicities, all cultures going forward, and wants to try to unite this country. But as we look at the scene behind you here, a number of people who still clearly feel upset about the outcome. Yeah. Is that something you think he can accomplish?
I don't. I mean, he said no one respects women more than him. No one does anything more than him. Everything he said hasn't been true. So I don't think he's suddenly going to unite us, especially when so many people feel disenfranchised. And this is one of many protests across the city, and many that are planned.
Many more planned, you said.
Yeah. And even like what's unfortunate is, the police there was a man who was drunk, and everyone there was begging him not to, and pushing people, and who was a black man, and we were begging him not to, because we didn't want that to become the focus, and we were scared that if he got arrested, something would happen to him. So we're living in a country where it's so deep-rooted that I don't think someone like Trump can fix stuff like that. I really don't.
All right. Well, Katie, I want to thank you very much for coming to join us. Thank you. Appreciate that. Donna, obviously, a number of people who are out here on the streets tonight, not just in New York City,
but Lakeshore Drive. Then they cut that off. The police got involved at one point, but everything has remained peaceful so far. There are some people, though, who don't agree with what's going on in terms of what's the protests. I just wanted to ask a real quick question. You said you don't mind that the people are protesting, but you're a little frustrated with how they're blocking the streets and what's going on. Tell me about how you feel about it.
They're blocking the streets. They're burning flags. They're standing on buses. They're writing swear words all over buses. It's not helping. This is not helping. I wanted Hillary to win more than anybody, and to stand out here and to not have a call to action and not be specific. That's why we're here where we are now, because we haven't been talking about policy, because we haven't been being specific, because we've been talking about things that don't matter, things that about personality, not policy. And there needs to be a call to action. And I need Hillary to stand up right now and walk in and sue the United States of America and say, back when black people couldn't vote, right? How many years ago your vote would have been 1/3? Guess what? Today it still is. Today, right now, it still is.
So you don't feel like this was a fair election, because it looks like Donald Trump won fair and square.
How did he win fair and square? Hillary had more votes. More human beings voted for Hillary. This isn't fair. We didn't get one vote. You didn't get a vote. It's just like back in the day when your vote was 1/3.
So the Electoral College, you're somebody who wants to blow that up. You want to get rid of Electoral College.
Just count the votes. It's ridiculous. Hillary, you're a lawyer. Walk in, go to the Supreme Court. I believe in you, Hillary. I've been to Rwanda. I've been to your hospital in Rwanda. I've seen all the good you've done. I believe in you. Women need you. Minorities need you. I need you. Chicago needs you. We all need you. This country needs you to stand up and walk into the Supreme Court and say one vote equals one vote. What's wrong with that? What's the debate?
You definitely feel his passion. There's other people out here who feel the same way.
At
one point, you had people who were blocking this road. Chicago police moved in. Everything has remained peaceful. And like I said, Don, as you see, thousands of people still continue to gather. But like you heard this man, very passionate about the idea. He doesn't want Hillary to stop.
Yeah, relatives could be deported. Here's Lily. Lily, your sign tonight says,
our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. If we don't fight, who's going to fight for us? People had to die for the freedom where we're at today. We can't just do rallies. We have to fight back. There will be casualties on both sides. There will be, because people have to die to make a change in this world. But Trump, enough with your racism. Stop splitting families. Don't split my family.
And you're fearful that you're going to lose friends and relatives to deport?
Yeah, a lot. Friends, family. Even all races, not just my Hispanic culture, but the rest of the races. Don't take away our rights. Impeach Donald Trump. That's what he needs to get, is impeached.
All right, Paul.
Get him out of here. Get out of here. Looks like a nice little guy, actually. Go home to mommy. Go home. Bye. Go home to mommy. Go home to mommy. Tell her to tuck you in bed. He's such a nice guy. Nasty little, I'll tell you, nasty people. Man, are you sure? Now, he'll go home to mom now. I love you too, man. I love you too. So...